Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show, man. Another episode. Today is September the 3rd, 2025. There are two games in the WNBA. I'm going to break those games down for you guys, and we're going to get up out of here, man. Relatively short show, especially with the injury report. No official plays for me yesterday, but the short list has been going crazy, man. It's been absolutely going crazy. I guess, I should probably start betting again. I guess I should start probably betting again with the way things have been going recently. A lot of volatility, a lot of variance in the middle of the season, so I kind of laid off. But, we did good last night. If you check the show out, you know what I'm talking about. All right, let's jump into it for today. Hit the like button for me if you can. It definitely helps out the algorithm. First up, we'll start off with Jackson, AI Sports Betting Tool. Link is in the description if you guys want to check it out for any of your sports betting picks across any sport. Yesterday, Jackson like Alyssa Thomas over 23.5 points plus rebounds. That was a winner, easy winner for Alyssa Thomas. And then Janelle Salon over her 14.5 points plus rebounds. She finished with 13, but she also shot 3 for 10 from the field. So just a terrible shooting night for her. She did go under. So 1-1 day for Jackson. As far as the bounce back, Jackson today likes Kelsey Plum over 17.5 points. So they'll be playing against Atlanta today. The analysis says this: Kelsey Plum has been a consistent scorer. She's averaging 19.9 points per game this season, well above the 17.5 line. She's hit the over her points prop 75% of her 20 games, averaging 19.75 points over that span. Most recently, she's cleared this line in 70% of her last 10 games, averaging 18.7. When playing on the road, she's hit the over 57.89% of the season so far, averaging 19.26. The buzz around the league is that Kelsey Plum's player points prop over has the best value on the board today. She's been in consistent scoring form, scoring 20 or more points in 17 of her 25 games, including 6 of her last 9. In a sole matchup against Atlanta Dream, she exploded for 27 points, demonstrating her ability to perform against this opponent. The Los Angeles Sparks play at the fastest pace in the WNBA. And boasts the top 5 offensive rating, contributing to higher scoring affairs. This game is expected to be a high-octane matchup between two elite offenses, creating ample scoring opportunities for Plum. So, that's the analysis on Kelsey Plum over her 17.5 points. Looks like it is a plus 100 on Caesars at the time of this recording. Next up, we go to the second game, Carmela Cardoso under 12.5 rebounds and assists. This says that Carmela Cardoso has consistently stayed under this combined assists plus rebounds line. She stood the under in an impressive 77% of her games, averaging 10.7 combined assists and rebounds. Her recent form is even stronger, hitting the under 80% of her last 5 games, averaging 13.3, and 80% of her last 10 games, averaging 12.6. So it says Cardoso has a perfect record against the Connecticut Sun when it comes to staying under this line. In all 3 of her matchups against the Sun in this season, she's went under, averaging 10.67 combined rebounds and assists. Her performance against them this season Her performance against the Connecticut Sun last season was also consistently under, averaging 8.5 rebounds and assists. The Connecticut Sun ranked 10th in defense against the league against opposing centers for assists and rebounds, which is an average ranking, but Cardoso's consistent underperformance against them is a strong indicator. The plus 110 offers excellent value for this trend. So Carmela Cardoso under 12.5 rebounds and assists, plus 110 on ESPN Bet, and then Kelsey Plum, you can get it even over on Caesars is where that line was. Let's jump into it. Link is in the description if you guys want to check Jackson out for anything else. So first game up we have is the Sparks and the Dream. This line is 7. Hasn't moved a lot at all. I do see an 8 though. I also see some 7.5s, but it looks like the consensus is 7. So we got to start with the injury report. And on the Atlanta Dream side of things, they could potentially be without the MVP candidate, which is Alicia Gray. He's dealing with a knee issue. Atlanta, if you look at the standings, they're in 3rd place. They're kind of tied with the Aces, but they don't own the tiebreaker because they can't beat the Aces. They could beat everybody else this season, but couldn't beat the Aces. So they're tied with the Aces and the Mercury, all kind of a 3-way tie, which is very, very important because no matter which seed you end up in between those 3, You will have home court advantage, but you want home court advantage for the next round too. That's what we got to be thinking about, right? So it's tough. It's really, really tough because as much as I think the Dream are going to win this, can absolutely win and cover this game, or I guess win this game. I don't know about covering it. I look at the other side and Rickea Jackson. Let me stop and say Rickea Jackson is also listed as probable. I do think that she's going to be out there. The Sparks, when you start looking at where they are in the season, I mean, they desperately need every single win that they can get. They went on a 2-game losing streak at the crib, and that really, really hurt. That hurt a lot because now the best thing that happened for them is that they were able to beat the Storm and that the Fever just can't get right. They've lost 2 games in a row as well. But if you look at the Sparks, they have the 19-20. They're a game and a half behind the Indiana Fever, a game behind the Fever, a game and a half behind the Seattle Storm right now. So they absolutely can make the playoffs. The Fever have a pretty difficult schedule left. The Storm also have a very difficult schedule left. But the Sparks also have a very difficult schedule left. After they play this game against Atlanta, they play Atlanta again. Friday rematch still in Atlanta as well. So they're not even going to leave. They're going to be in the ATL for a while. I went back and looked at the first matchup and Atlanta did win. I think they covered. They were a 2-point home dog as well. That game was played back on May the 27th. So you got to take it with a grain of salt because, Atlanta wasn't fully healthy. I said this the other day, and we started looking at some of the situational spot, right? The Sparks are playing their second game in 3 nights, third game in 4 nights, because they were on a back-to-back when they played against Seattle. I said this the other night, I kind of like the Sparks as dogs. I'm not one to lay with a team that can't get stops. And the Sparks, I mean, they never want to get a stop. The Seattle Storm offense is so janky, and that's why they were able to, go out and win that game as a dog in that last one. But if I'm playing this game, man, I kind of want to take the Sparks. They desperately need every single win. Like, it's hard not to take the Sparks. Not that the Dream can't win, not that the Dream aren't the better team, but the Sparks need every single win. And this is their role, right? They're 11-8 straight up on the road. They're 11-8 straight up on the road. I think they're 12-6 against the spread on the road. They're only 2-8 in their last 10 games though. But this is typically their role. I looked at them as road dogs. They won 7 of the 12 times. That's significant, right? When you are the dog on the road and you win, not just cover, but you win 7 of the 12. That's great. Also 8-3-1 against the spread as road dogs. They won 5 straight games, and of course covered 5 straight times as road dogs as well. This is the Sparks' role. With no Alicia Gray, it's probably the only way I could look because because Alicia Gray at the time of this recording, because she is listed as questionable. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to make a play on the game, especially with it being like those like back-to-backs. I feel like I get the first game wrong every single time. But I think my gut tells me the Sparks are going to find a way to cover this game, though. And that's not, really looking at too many stats. The Dream have also been really good in their role. We saw them, put the smackdown on the Connecticut Sun in that fourth quarter. I think they had a 1-point lead, end up going on like a 15-0 run. And they're also good at home laying points. They're 9-6 against the spread. And then they're also if they're laying 5.5 points or more, they're 7-3 against the spread. So when they are laying these big numbers at the crib, they typically win and cover. They win by average of 12 points. So, I mean, it's no question that you look at these numbers that you see here, the Dream are probably the second best team. If the Aces weren't in the league, you could say that they're comfortably the second best team. But for consistency throughout the season, they have been the better team. It's a very, very tough game for me, man. I think I look at the matchups. I think about Dearica Hamby, going down against, Bree Jones and Brittany Griner. Nas Hillman being able to stretch out the Sparks bigs as well. Like it's, I don't know. It's tough. It's very, very tough for me knowing that the Sparks are in a do or die situation. They absolutely got to have every single game. So, getting this many points, I think they could potentially cover in this spot. So that's my thought process. I'm not sure if I'll bet the game. I will definitely be watching though. This will be a good game for sure. And as far as the total goes, like I think Alicia Gray has to be there. This total opened 168.5, and it's now, I think it moved up just a little bit. Let me just double check it real quick. Yeah, it's up to like 169. I don't really want I know everybody's gonna think over. The Sparks offense has actually struggled recently. outside of that game against the Storm defense, they like haven't been going over. They've been playing, still playing fast, but if the Dream dictate pace, like their offense isn't clicking, which we know the Dream can go a half where they shoot 13% from the 3-point line. This is a high total, and I don't know. I just can't get there on the over. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Atlanta's actually 8-2 to the under in their last 10 games as well. So I know the Sparks, only play overs. I can't take the Atlanta Dream Team total over if Alicia Gray isn't going to play. Tahina Pau is really, really good, and so is Maya Caldwell. But I mean, they can't make up, in my opinion, what Alicia Gray can do. But look for Ryan Howard to have a big game, especially if Alicia Gray doesn't play. So those are all my thoughts: size, total, player props, all that good stuff. Let's go over to the next game. It's not as great of a game. The Connecticut Sun and the Chicago Dream. I was capping this game yesterday, and my first instinct was I saw the Connecticut Sun laying the Chicago Sky laying 1.5, and then I started to see it come down to 1. And I was thinking to myself, like, who in their right mind gonna be laying points with the Chicago Sky? I understand they have rest advantage. This is 3 days of rest compared to 1. Haley Van Lith is listed as out. She's the only person on the injury report for either side. Neither of these teams really have anything to play for except, not having the worst record in the WNBA. And right now, the Connecticut Sun, even though they're on a 2-game losing streak, they are 5-5 straight up in their last 10 games. So they've been much better. The Chicago Sky are 1-9 in their last 10 games. And Connecticut, we know Connecticut started the season with the worst record in the WNBA, but because they won 5 of their last 10 games, they've actually jumped Dallas and Chicago. So they're 10-30. Chicago is 9-30 right now. And Connecticut, won the most recent match. They won the most 2 recent matchups. They've covered both spreads. One is a 3.5-point home favorite, and then one is a plus 3-point dog in Chicago. So with this line coming down, they played like less than 2 weeks ago. I think Connecticut is the right side, man. Like they're just much better defensively over their last few games. And I talked about Chicago, being terrible defensively, specifically with Angel Reese on the floor. Like their offense gets better, the defense gets worse. So not that Connecticut is any kind of, puzzle that can't be solved, but defensively, they've just been a lot better recently. And I feel like they've also played against a tougher schedule. Not that Chicago hasn't played against a tough schedule, but Connecticut just lost back-to-back games, so their numbers could be skewed a little bit. Their last 2 losses came against Minnesota and Atlanta, number 1 seed and number 3 seed right now, or tied for number 2 seed. So I think Connecticut's the right side. They're only 4-16 straight up on the road, but they are 11-9 against the spread. They also 7-3 in their last 10 games. And before losing back-to-back to Atlanta and Minnesota, they had actually won 4-5, and they had covered 7 in a row as well. So Chicago, actually the worst home team in the WNBA. They're 5-15 straight up. I think they had the worst net rating in the at home as well. They've covered just 7 of their 13 games. Like I said, they do have a 2-day rest advantage. They've lost 4 straight. They've only won 1 of their last 10. But they have covered 3 in a row. So the way I thought about the game was Connecticut team total up and over. They are 4th in scoring, averaging 84 points per game in their last 5. They're also 5th in pace. Chicago, who plays at the 4th slowest pace on the full season, they're also 6th in pace over their last 5 games. So they've been playing faster. Last 5 games, last 10 games, and on the full season, this Connecticut Sun defense stinks, and they're giving up about 84 points per game. Connecticut is also 5th in offensive rebounds. They're 7th in points off turnovers, which is significant because Chicago turns the ball over. They give it up more than any team in the WNBA. That's last 5, last 10, and on the full season, but none worse than their last 5 games. They're actually giving up 22 points off turnovers in their last 5 games. That's higher than their season average of 19.5 and their last 10 of 18.9. So I think Connecticut should be able to force some turnovers in this spot. So yeah, I think they should be able to score. They also got the 94 the last time these two teams played 2 weeks ago. I think they shot like 40% from the 3-point line. I think the full game over is also in play for this game as well. The total for the last game, I think it was like 158.5, and it's up 4 points. These two teams just played 2 weeks ago. So that's my thought process in this game. If I'm betting, it's either Connecticut plus the points, Connecticut team total over, or full game over. I think all of those could absolutely hit today. Probably won't play this game, though, if I'm being completely honest. From a player prop perspective, just share one thing with you guys, and then I'm going to get out of here. And that one thing will be here. So this is Outlier, link in the description if you guys want to check it out. Tina Charles is absolutely hooping, man. I hope she comes back for another season. You can see her last couple games here against Minnesota and Atlanta. Much better defensive team. Light years better defensive team than Chicago. She got to her 22 and her 30 in back-to-back games. I've always said this throughout this season too. I feel like whenever she goes against the young bloods, the Cardosas, the Angel Reese, she always feels like she has something to prove as well. She'll go out there and smoke you and then teach you a lesson while she's smoking you as well. Tell you where to be at the next time so you can slow that move down that she just did on you, and then she'll do another move. So you're looking at her last 10 games, you can see that she's been on a little bit of a hot streak. So it's 4 in a row, 7 of her last 8. She's going up and over this number, averaging 23. This is her points plus rebounds at 20 and a half, averaging 23. So she's well over the number. We look at last 5 games, 24.8, well over the number as well. And then the head-to-head matchup. She's played against them 3 times this season. She's over in 2 of the 3 matchups. The game that she missed, she finished with just 18-3. 15-3. And she also played just 21 minutes. But over her last 10 games, we look at her minutes. It's still consistent, right? Averaging well above the 21 minutes that she played in that game that she missed. So if I'm betting today's game, I think Tina Charles is probably my favorite player prop look on the board for today. And I just showed you the reason why. So that's my thought process on the game in general and my favorite player prop look. All of the links are in the description. If I make a play, I'll send it out to the members. I can't play the Atlanta game without knowing Alicia Gray's status, though. Like, I really need to know if she's going to be in. And then I potentially can make a play on the game. We'll see where the line goes. But I kind of like the Sparks in game 1. Maybe Atlanta, takes their foot off the gas. Maybe even early. Maybe they, Atlanta, for whatever reason, stinks early in the game and then they get it together. So maybe take the Sparks. It's a desperation spot for the Sparks. I kind of want to take the Sparks, but we shall see, man. Resources linked in the description. You guys check them out. I appreciate everybody for tuning in for the entirety of the season. It's been a very tumultuous, up and down, roller coaster type season in the WNBA. Some days I hate it. Some days I love it. But trying to be consistent, man. Always got to be consistent. We're watching it, betting it, all that good stuff. Show some support. If you can, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, turn the notification bell on, and drop the show link in the group chat, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Happy Wednesday. Catch you guys in the next one.